This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
Introduction. Globalization affects leadership in diverse ways. Indicatively, there is an imminent increase in the level of organizational competitiveness. This trend remains observable within different business and organizational areas. The pattern explains the need for strategic leadership within organizations. This paper defines the concept of leadership. It also highlights the significance of leadership and outlines its fundamental disparities with management. In addition, the discussion outlines and explains the 6 qualities of effective leadership within organizational settings. Finally, there is a discussion of 4 different leadership styles. The paper also compares and analyzes leadership styles. In this process, it provides examples of such leaders. Leadership. Leadership involves several functions and processes. Simply, it involves the process of directing individuals toward attaining specific objectives. The process involves controlling, managing, and even manipulating. Leadership bears a lot of importance. Generally, groups of persons require effective guidance and stewardship. The process enables the timely accomplishment of principal goals. Observably, organizations are composed of diverse personalities. Leadership helps in the process of conflict resolution. Leadership enables individuals to develop analytical and critical skills. These are appropriate for effective dispute resolution. Leadership is essential for personal motivation and inspiration. It is critical to note that motivation is a vital element in developing novelty amongst various groups. Therefore, leadership forms the springboard for innovation and transformation within organizations. Most leadership strategies significantly introduce transformation or change initiatives within organizations. This practice remains entrenched in positive value systems and beliefs. Leadership is applicable in the nurturing and development of constructive behavior patterns and organizational culture. There are several disparities between leadership and management processes. For example, unlike management, leadership operates to develop concepts and principles. On the other hand, management operations are purely administrative. Whilst most management procedures accept a given status quo, leadership processes enhance innovation. Management applies pragmatic approaches in handling situations. However, leadership remains more resourceful. Moreover, its primary aim is to apply transformative problem resolution mechanisms. Leadership applies humanistic attributes such as empathy. Additionally, it concentrates on the development of personality. These initiatives provide attention to individual understanding and motivation. Conversely, management operations assume linear perspectives. There is also an eminent focus on structure and mechanisms. Management processes perceive threats and reduce the notable weaknesses. Leadership qualities. Effective leaders depict transformative and strong personal qualities. Foremost, an effective leader must be visionary. This means that such leaders must be competent to initiate a strong vision within their teams. This defines the scope of operation and the critical objective of the entire team. It also indicates the path that followers must pursue. Secondly, it is vital for leaders to be reliable. The followers are able to depend on and build trust in their leaders. An effective leader must not indulge in issuing false promises. Moreover, such leaders must be steadfast in meeting their promises. This relates to promises pertaining to the internal and external stakeholders. This quality enhances the processes of delegation and task completion. Effective leaders require audacity as an essential quality. This quality enables leaders to be outspoken and commanding. Particularly, this relates to dealing with their followers. Quality is vital since leadership involves effective communication and feedback processes. Leaders need the capacity to empower their followers. Effective leaders stir emotions and motivate followers to achieve their life goals. Most innovators indicate the significance of motivation in enhancing novelty. This quality is vital in the accomplishment of collective organizational objectives. All effective leaders must have a positive and constructive attitude toward their duties. This quality enables them to act as role models. Through this, they are also able to create good examples for their followers. Lastly, leaders must adopt motivating and transformative qualities. These are necessities in decision-making processes. Leadership styles. Autocratic leaders exercise complete control over their followers. This leadership style is very different from the transactional or transformational headship. In this style of leadership, the followers have minimal capacity to provide advice. Moreover, they do not participate in decision processes within the system. It is unlike democratic leadership, in which there is maximum consideration of the opinions of various followers. President Mugabe is an example of an autocratic leader. This leadership approach enables faster decision-making procedures. Additionally, majors are effectively completed. Charismatic leadership is appropriate for the development of followers. It is also attributable to the transformational leadership system. Charismatic leaders have the capability to motivate and inspire their followers to attain their basic goals. The leadership system helps stir dedication and commitment toward attaining collective aims. It is the opposite of autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership does not involve all followers. Principally, this relates to decision processes. Nelson Mandela is one of the world's renowned charismatic leaders. Transactional leadership bases its principles on team processes. According to this approach, all team members indulge in work and decision initiatives. All members are bound to accomplish specific obligations. This is largely unlike the bureaucratic or autocratic approaches to leadership. Reimbursements are provided to all the members. However, this occurs only after their effective performance. Mr. Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore provides an example of a transactional leader. There are unique features of transactional leadership. For instance, there is a proper definition and delegation of individual roles. These have remarkable contributions to the collective objectives of particular teams. Democratic leadership style utilizes the principles of participation. The approach is the opposite of an autocratic leadership system. The leadership system considers the feelings and insinuations of all personalities or followers. In addition, unlike the bureaucratic processes, these leaders engage all persons in their decision processes. There are notable similarities with other leadership systems. For example, transformational leadership also encourages motivation and novelty. The maximum participation of followers lowers the basic time for decision operations. However, like in other constructive forms of leadership, the system is effective. One of the globally acknowledged democratic leaders is John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Conclusion. Poor leadership strategies make organizations more redundant and non-competitive. Therefore, leadership is a critical component of management. It is appropriate for organizations to be aware of various leadership approaches. Principally, there is an evident significance of leadership in enhancing competitive performance and output. This is applicable to both business and nonprofit organizations. There is a high level of competition within the domestic and global platforms. The paper focused on the analysis of the concept of leadership. Apart from this, it also discussed different leadership qualities and styles. Did you like this leadership in organizations sample? To get more works like this one, make sure to check out the database of academic paper examples at ivypanda.com. You will find thousands of samples for all your study needs.